So, Max Holloway defeated Conor McGregor by TKO due to injury, referee stoppage. Um, where do I start, y'all? Where do I even start? So, I was literally nervous, okay? As everyone else did. We got that big fight feeling, and it felt so good. I was like, I can't imagine what these guys are feeling. So, there's only two things that could have happened. So, Connor may have pulled a TJ Dillashaw and just came in injured because he pulled out of the Michael Chandler fight, and he probably felt bad for that. But he's like, I came into the Khabib fight injured. I came into multiple other fights injured. He's like, I want to do it right. I don't want to get injured. So he pulled out of the Chandler fight, and maybe he hurt his ACL, and was like, I'm not gonna pull out. I'm not gonna pull out. The Mac is back. But or he straight up just tore his ACL on the very first exchange of this fight. And if that's the case, that is absolutely for people saying that, oh, it's like, Connor knew he was gonna get hurt and all that. It's like you could see his ACL rupture. It Oh my goodness. I feel so bad for Max Holloway because this is a fight that he lost years ago, and he wanted to get it back. Okay, he just rewrote the wrong of the Poirier fights, got that one back, and now he's looking for a Conor. And unfortunately, he can't, and he's gonna have to wait another year. But when this happened, I was thinking to myself, why can't we just have Paddy come out and hopefully maybe get it, like, make it a catch weight 175? Or like, why can we brought Paddy out? Because Paddy took zero damage against BSD. We'll get into all the fights later, but there's so much to talk about the main event. Why couldn't they brought Paddy out? Why couldn't they brought Paddy out? Because similar weights. Because Paddy has a cut a bit to make 155, so he was probably 170 to be quite honest. Like he was probably 170, 172, 173. Very similar to where Max would be. Max is probably walking around at 178. Maybe he probably didn't have to cut much weight for this fight. So why can they brought Paddy out? Okay, Diego Lopez is in the crowd. Diego would have stepped up. So I feel really bad for the fans, and I think it's kind of wrong by the UFC to not try to salvage something. Like, Max would have said yes. He would have said yes to fighting Diego Lopez or Paddy Pimblett. Hell, throw BSD in there. But I feel so bad for the fans that spent so much money to watch Conor McGregor. I feel bad for the new Paramount fans that want to get a taste of Conor McGregor. And this is what we get. When you are off a major injury, you hop on steroids, changes your body composition. Then you get off steroids, changes your body composition. You do lots of cocaine, and you're visibly jittering during your interviews for your upcoming movie Roadhouse remake. And then you get back to serious training, and you're also 37 years old. Connor's not took good care of his body. He just hasn't, and that is why this happened. It's unfortunate because maybe Connor really did lock in and found God and all that, and then for this to happen, I would actually feel really bad for him if that's the case. If he really did lock in, try to change his life around, I would feel horrible. But man, this game is brutal to those who aren't active and think they just walk back in. You have to, like GSP is like the one exception, but GSP doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink. That man was training every day after he retired when he came back to fight Bisping. Conor didn't. Conor was at Miami Heat games banging girls in the bathrooms. That's just the truth. Conor has not been in the game. He locked back in for probably 6 months for this fight, and you just can't do that after destroying your body with drugs and all that fun stuff. So ultimately, that's probably why his ACL gave out, because he put so much stress on his body he probably trained really hard for this fight, and he's old, and then he tried to throw a jumping switch kick that blew out his ACL, and you just can't do that. You you can't fight like you're 25 years old when you're 37. You just can't. Conor should have just tried to stick to the boxing and kept it simple, because he's not as athletic as he once was. He's probably not the guy that can throw 3 spinning wheel kicks in a row against Poirier in their third fight. I don't think he's that guy, and it showed, because he immediately injured himself. It could have been something freak. He could have been like Chris Barnett jumping up and blowing out his ACL, MCL, whatever it was, or Brian Ortega injuring his knee before his rematch of Yair. These things do happen. It's just, I knew as soon as I saw the Mohawk, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's Michael Jordan in a Wizards jersey. He's washed. I knew, dude. As soon as I saw the Mohawk, I'm like, no, something bad is gonna happen. He's gonna look so washed, and he did. So I have a lot of blame on the Mohawk, but you can't leave the sport and then come back. You can't just walk back in. I feel bad for Max. I feel bad for all the fans. I feel especially bad for the fans there. They should have done Paddy versus Holloway somehow, for the fans, to be quite honest. But I know that's a lot of moving parts, but that would have been really cool. How hype would that have been? Dude, win or lose, both guys' stock rises. Okay, I don't care who loses that one. But yeah. So that's what happened in the main event. Conor McGregor immediately came out with a jumping switch kick and blew out his ACL, and then immediately pulled guard, and then Max was landing some ground and pound. Conor's able to stand back up, and then he just had a weird movement coming forward on his right knee, and it just buckled on him, and then they stopped the fight. So that's what happened. Damn. Like, I knew Holloway was gonna win. It was a long shot Conor would win this fight, but Conor's stock would have rose if he destroyed Max in the first 2 rounds, and then we all expected him to lose after that. We all expected Max to win 3, 4, and 5, probably finish him late. But we would have gave him a lot of credit for beating up Max Holloway in the first 2 rounds, 5 years out of the game. We would have given him so much credit, but we're not able to see it. What's next for Conor McGregor? Heal up first, then I don't know. But you can do, if Topuria is still banged up and he can't make December or January, do Holloway versus Paddy, I guess. I just feel bad for Holloway, because this is one he could get back, but he wasn't able to. But let's move on to the co-main event. There's not a lot to talk about here. Paddy Pimblett, I knew he beat Benoit Saint-Denis because Benoit Saint-Denis has poor fight IQ, and he did his thing, threw up a head kick early. I'm like, okay, yep, get Paddy's hands up, get his attention. Maybe you could throw some lefts to the body on Paddy or something. No, he decides to shoot a takedown. That's why I didn't pick him, because I knew Paddy would win the grappling exchanges, and that's exactly what happened. Paddy got him in a deep guillotine. Then he switched it to a kind of more of a front choke and ninja choke kind of deal. And then, dude, he did something wicked. So he had like a north-south position, and then Benoit scrambled back into like a sprawl position, like a normal ninja choke position. And then Paddy just slumped to his back, put his left foot over Benoit's shoulder. You're thinking, oh yeah, he's got it. Then he puts the right over. When you guys put both feet over their opponent's shoulders when going for this kind of choke, it was wicked. Wicked choke Paddy got. One of the deepest chokes I've ever seen. And Benoit Saint-Denis was submitted out cold. I was really looking forward to this fight because I thought it was going to be a war. This is my second pick for Fight of the Night. I thought Fight of the Night was going to go to Kai Kamaka or Luke Rowley, but Luke Rowley got him out of there in the first round. I really thought that this was going to be Fight of the Night, and then Paddy just made it look easy. And it's all blames to Benoit Saint-Denis for shooting a takedown. Why would you shoot a Dude, Bobby Green found out. Bobby Green found out real quick what happens when you shoot a takedown on Paddy Pimblett. And Benoit found out as well. So these guys are going to learn that you need to be really smart for your takedown entries, and that you should use the clinch like Justin Gaethje did. Don't shoot takedowns, but use the clinch. Benoit Saint-Denis got slumped out cold by Paddy Pimblett. That's pretty much it. Paddy looked good out there. Good for him. At least he did something with the way the main event went. But it was a great card overall. Going on to the feature fight, Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista. Now, I picked Corey, but I was not confident at all. If you watch my prediction video, I was like, I would not be surprised if Mario won. But there's also an injury that happened in that fight, which wasn't a freak accident. It was actually perfectly fine. Nothing to complain about. It kind of payback for TJ Dillashaw. But, Corey's looking good early. He's winning the boxing exchanges round one. And then Mario goes in for a takedown, and then they get into a scramble. And then boom, Mario is about to get like a Sully of submission, which is where you stretch the opponent's hamstrings badly. And he also had Corey's knee straight, so he was able to also hyperextend a knee. And what's that gonna do? That's gonna blow out your ACL. So Mario Batista is able to blow out Corey's ACL and in round one. So and then Mario is able to get some more takedowns in round one and just land a better shot. So Mario wins round one, but then Corey wins round two. He's the movement was just not there, so he just stuck to boxing. He didn't throw many kicks because his I think it was his left leg that was just torn to pieces. And the reason I brought up TJ Dillashaw is because Corey did the exact same thing to TJ Dillashaw in their fight, blew out his knee, and TJ was able to win that fight. But yeah, so Corey just kept it simple, using his lead hand effectively to set up the right hands that he would throw, and was able to outbox Mario Batista. Mario got a little bit of control time, but did nothing with it. So round two goes to Corey Sandhagen. Then round three, Mario drops him. Okay, Mario drops him and just Jose Aldo's him basically, like he did to Jose Aldo. He just put him up against the fence, landed takedown after takedown. I love the takedowns he was going for, putting pressure on that left leg because he would elevate him and then he would drag his body towards the floor on the side of Corey's left leg. So it was putting a lot of pressure. So that's why he was able to take down Corey so many times. It was just smart game planning by Mario Batista. And I'm not surprised that he won because I knew this was a 50-50 fight. So congrats to Mario Batista. Big win for him on a McGregor card. Put Conor McGregor in the co-main event. Put Conor McGregor in the co-main event of his next fight. That's what you got to do, to be quite honest. But yeah, good performance there. But yeah, heading on to the next fight was Brandon Royval taking on Loner Kavanaugh. I picked Loner Kavanaugh because I thought they would get into boxing changes and Kavanaugh would have more power. And he actually did hurt Brandon Royval quite a bit in this fight. But round one definitely went to Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval had a great performance in this fight. He mixed in the grappling, and that's why he won the fight because he was doing really well with the boxing early because Loner Kavanaugh is something I should have picked on more, but Loner Kavanaugh just freezes at times, okay? He's doing his thing, but he just freezes, and every time he did that, Brandon Royval would just jab him up, jab, left hand, you know? Great stuff from Brandon Royval, but yeah, so he was outboxing Kavanaugh, and then he also got a takedown to finish that round, so round one with Brandon Royval. Round two, Kavanaugh drops Brandon Royval badly, very reminiscent to the Joshua Van fight. So round two went to Kavanaugh. Then round three, Brandon Royval just picking up the pace, mixing the grappling more, gets him down, and then he gets a rear naked choke on him. Vicious submission win by Brandon Royval. And just show Loner that he needs to work on his grappling because the stand-up is great for Loner Kavanaugh. Loner also needs to stop just freezing. I don't know why he does that, but yeah. A great win for Brandon Royval. He needed that one because he got dropped badly, hurt badly in the Joshua Van fight, lost that one. Then he got knocked down the first round by Manel Cap. So this was a big win for Brandon Royval, who was one of my favorite fighters at flyweight. So good to see him win. I'd love to see a rematch of him and Kai Kara-France, but Kai's like retired, kind of. So I hope we see that rematch someday. But yeah, big win for Brandon Royval. Shout out to both guys. It was a really good fight. Then the opener of the main card, we had Bobby Green taking on Terrence McKinney, and what a fight this was. This was a true coin flip. I was lucky. I went with Bobby Green, but this is my least confident prediction because the odds were actually right. It was a pick'em fight. So early on, Terrence McKinney's looking great. He's landing the better shots on the feet, and then he takes down Bobby Green, gets in the mount, and is landing some good ground pound on him. But here's where Terrence McKinney messed up. He started trying to go for submissions a bit and lost mount. He took Bobby's back instead of just staying in mount where Bobby was helpless. So that was the biggest mistake for Terrence McKinney, going with the body triangle, getting his back. He shouldn't have done that because he had him in mount. So Bobby's able to scramble back up to his feet, and Terrence is, as always, a little gassed after that exchange. And yeah, Bobby lands some good shots against the fence. And hurts him, and just it hurts him, gets him out of there, and yeah, I think it was a body shot that started. It was a body shot that just crumpled Terrence McKinney. It was a really short body shot that hurt Terrence McKinney. So shout out to Bobby Green, gets him out of there in the very late first round. I remember it was a terrible stoppage because there was 1 second left in the round. 1 second left in round one, and the ref stops it. Terry Hadley had an awful night, and here's why. He got so close to the fighters, dude. In that exchange, Terrence McKinney couldn't circle to his right because Terry Hadley was there. Like if he wanted to circle out and get out of Bobby Green's way, he couldn't because Terry was there. So Terry was just so close to these guys during these final exchanges. It really bugged me. Terry Hadley had an awful night. What is with the refing? What is with the refing lately? It's been horrible. But yeah, Terry Hadley stopped the fight with a second left in the round. What are you doing? Like, unbelievable. But it was a great performance by Bobby Green. He got dominated early and then came back. It's good to see for an old guy not quitting to the younger guy. So Bobby Green, 4-fight win streak, 2026. 2026, Dustin Poirier is apologizing online for alcoholism and saying the N-word. Conor McGregor came back and, was locked in, found Jesus. And then we also got Bobby Green on a 4-fight win streak. What timeline are we in? But, yeah, great win for Bobby Green. And then the prelim headliner was Robert Whittaker against Nikita Krylov. And early on, I was like, oh no, big tubby Whittaker, looking a little tubby there. I think he'll look a lot better in his next light heavyweight fight when he puts on the weight right. He looked like he took this fight on short notice. That's just the physique he had. But yeah, Robert Whittaker gets a round 3 KO against Nikita Krylov, which is exactly what I predicted. So shout out to Bobby Knuckles. But yeah, Robert Whittaker gets him out of there in the third round. He was just way faster than Krylov. Krylov was just way too slow. Krylov did well early wrestling Robert Whittaker, which actually kind of gassed him by the end. Robert Whittaker was taking some heavy breaths at the end of round 1. But also, I think it may have zapped Krylov's cardio a bit because he didn't go to the wrestling at all late into the fight, which was a big mistake from him. That's why he lost, because he was able to mix in the grappling in round 1, and it helped him a lot. Then he just stopped going to it. May have been a cardio issue, but Robert Whittaker was way faster than Nikita Krylov. Was landing the jab, right-hand combo low. And Nikita Krylov was so tall, Robert couldn't get the head kick up because there was multiple times where Krylov was circling and Whittaker could have threw up that head kick, but he's so short for a light heavyweight that he just couldn't. Which is weird because Gable Steveson is also the same height as Whittaker. He's not 6'1". He is 5'11" according to the UFC. I thought that was interesting, but yeah, shout out to Robert Whittaker getting a win and joins a short list of guys that have finishes in 3 weight class. Shout out to Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker, one of my favorite fighters. He always brings it, man. Always brings it, and he looked decent in light heavyweight. Once he settled into the fight, he got a second win. He got that that championship experience. That second win came around and helped him out. So, it was a great fight. And then Gable Steveson dominated Elisha Ellison. Who would have guessed? And he didn't need the wrestling for it. He shot a takedown, didn't get it. So he just beat him up against the fence, landed some good dirty boxing shots, good elbows, went to the body well. Yeah, then the stoppage was nasty. It wasn't like he landed a shot that just like dropped him. It was an accumulation of shots that just made Elisha Ellison crumble. And he landed a Hendo bomb. He landed a Gable bomb on Elisha Ellison. Brutal ground and pound shot to get the finish. Was a great performance by Gable Steveson. He's gonna be a problem. I'm happy to have him in division, because we need more guys like that. We need athletic heavyweights that have some power and can wrestle. Guys like Tom Aspinall, So hopefully he does well. And yeah, it's some of his opponents are they're gonna find like a big loophole in his game to exploit Gable Steveson. That came out better than I expected. The exploit part was crazy. Anyways, so yeah, that happened. What else happened on this card? Yeah, Cody Durden lost. Alessandro Costa put him out, as we all pretty much expect. Alessandro Costa, which is way more powerful, and he is mini Diego Lopez. So Cody Durden landed some good shots early, to be quite honest. Landed some good. He was winning the boxing exchanges. Alessandro Costa did take this on short notice, so it took him a little bit of time to get into the fight. But once he found the range, he was able to pressure Cody Durden back, and he just had so much more power in the boxing exchanges. And he actually took down Cody Durden. I think Cody Durden threw a kick and like slipped, and then Costa got on top. And the grappling was just way better than Durden, which I wasn't expecting, because Durden's kind of known for his grappling. He's kind of the Colby Covington of flyweight. But we got the Diego Lopez here, who can also grapple. So Costa got him with an arm triangle, I believe it was, and was a really good all-around performance from Alessandro Costa in the fight. And then Cody Garbrandt got knocked out by Adrian Yanez. I picked Adrian Yanez because of the reach advantage he had, and that helped him out in this fight. Cody Garbrandt actually came out swinging, didn't blow his ACL, and then was able to land a decent shot that hurt Yanez. But Yanez settled into the fight, found his range, and he landed a Eddie Alvarez McGregor combo. He landed a 4-piece combo to put out Cody Garbrandt. It was just left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook. It was a beautiful exchange. Yeah, Adrian Yanez just had a reach advantage, and he was able to hit Cody when Cody had to blitz in the range, and it was just dangerous to do that against Yanez, who has really good hooks. He has really good short shots against a shorter opponent like Garbrandt, who also doesn't have good defense. I think Yanez got the KO off a Cody trying to land a knee. They got close in the range. Cody blitzed in, and then he tried to get his tie knee position, and he was just open. And Yanez landed a 4-piece combo to finish him. So shout out to Adrian Yanez. Big win for him. One of my favorite fighters, especially back in like 2020, 2021, when he was beating up guys at the Apex. Good to see him get a huge KO on a big card like this, on a McGregor card. So shout out to Adrian Yanez. Then Luke Riley also got a really good win against Kai Kamaka. Now, this was my pick for fight of the night, but it didn't go that long, so it's not going to be fight of the night. So both guys were just swinging early. Kai Kamaka was doing pretty good. With the leg kicks, was able to beat up Luke Riley's leg pretty good. But it just doesn't matter. Scasses don't get knocked out, yeah, especially the leg kicks. And then, Luke Riley just lined up a beamer of a right hand on Kai Kamaka, dropped him, and then Luke Riley lands some follow-up shots. I don't think it was an early stoppage. I think Kai Kamaka was definitely out. So really good win for Luke Riley. Who I thought he was going to struggle in this fight. He did early on, but I thought this was going to be war. And then I picked Riley because he always wins in wars for whatever reason. He's able to just grind out fights, so he didn't need to in this fight. Had a bit of adversity with the leg kicks, but good win for Luke Riley. And Paddy and Luke Riley won this card, so they got a lot of momentum at that gym. So shout out to both Brits. And Wong Kong took on Tracy Cortez. I picked her by decision. I actually thought Tracy was going to wrestle more in this fight, but the leg kicks really limited Tracy Cortez, who isn't the best on the feet. She tries to throw shots. There's a bit of thud on her shots, but without her lead leg, she just couldn't generate any power. She landed a few good shots on Wang Kong, but they just weren't enough because Wang Kong just beat up her lead leg, and she just couldn't plant down and get power onto her shots. So. And then it also worsened. It also really depleted her takedown attempts. They were just super weak because she didn't have her lead leg. So Wing Kong had a beautiful performance in her fight against Tracy Cortez. And moving up, she'll at least be ranked number 8. And there's a bit of an Alex Pereira story here. She has a win over Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing. However, if Wang Kong and Shevchenko fought right now, Shevchenko would destroy her with grappling. It would just be the Zhang Weili fight. We're all like, oh, this might be an interesting women's fight, and then Shevchenko is going to lay on her for 5 rounds. It's just what's going to happen, unfortunately. So hopefully Wayne Collin can face a grappler next. You asked me to name any grapplers at 125 right now. I don't know. So hopefully she can fight a grappler so we can see how her grappling is, but good performance by Wayne Collin. And Farid Basharat took on John Garza, and we almost had a near Ethan Ewing replica. John Garza looked pretty good in this fight. He's just these modern fighters. I'm loving the modern style for these young guys. It's heavy pressure boxing with a great takedown defense. It's like controlled sprawl and brawl, and it's really working against these grapplers. I'm really digging where it's like these Kevin Vallejos guys, these Ilia Toporias, these John Garzas. I'm loving the new style that's coming through MMA. Really pleasant to watch. But John Garza almost beat Farid Basharat. That was 29-28. Decent win for Farid Basharat. He actually tried to be exciting, and I don't blame him because they cut his brother for not being excited. So he threw a couple spinning elbows in there. He tried to land some good shots. So shout out to him. But John Garza went for it. Took this on like a week notice. So he looked pretty good in this fight. Landed some great shots. He landed a lot of straight rights to the body. Very like Sean O'Malley Morabez. He really dug to the body with the right hands, and it slowed down Farid Basharat. He didn't have this unbelievable pressure or cardio that he can normally put a pace on guys, especially at the wrestling, but he really struggled to take down John in this fight. So he had a great performance. It was a pretty entertaining fight. So shout out to Farid Basharat for actually trying to put on a show. And Damian Pinos also took out Cesar Almeida. Dude, Joe Rogan's like, Pinas is fighting out. You know, he's fighting a vet. I'm like, Joe, he needs one shot because Almeida does not have a chin. And what did I tell you? He put him out with one shot, just a straight right hand, no follow up shots needed, and yeah, he really took his sweet time. The ref was in quicksand trying to get to him. But Damien Pinas, he just pretty much shelled up, stayed pretty safe against Almeida, and he just waited for the perfect opportunity because he has so much power at 185. He just needs one, so he took his time. Wasn't trying to blitz in and potentially get countered with something big. So he does have decent fight IQ, which is good to see. And he does have the grappling. He didn't go to it once in this fight. That's why I picked him. I picked Pinas by round 2 arm triangle. I really thought he would try to take down Almeida, but he didn't need to. He did it with the hands, and he looked pretty impressive. So shout out to Damian Pinas, and yeah, didn't take a lot of damage. So hopefully we get to see him soon. Once again in 2026. And then lastly, I want to talk about Ryan Gandra taking on Zachary Reese, and I picked Ryan Gandra by round 1 KO because Zachary Reese keeps his chin up in the air, and he actually did a really good job of defense in this fight. Gandra couldn't land the shots down the middle. He was just clubbing 1-2s down the middle, and he actually couldn't land that. So he decides, I'm going to throw like the widest left hook you've ever seen in your life, and it connected on Zachary Reese around his guard, and then put him out. Ground and pound shots followed afterwards. So shout out to Ryan Gandra. He's rising. He's definitely a good rising middleweight right now. Has a lot of power in his hands. So we'll see. We'll see who he takes on next. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was every fight in the card. It was a ton of fights. But can we have a moment of silence? Thank you guys. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Conor, but my goodness, what a letdown. Well, it was a 10 out of 10 card up until that. It really was. It was a unbelievable generational card. Why did this have to happen? I know why it happened, but unbelievable. But let me know what you guys think about this event, about the McGregor situation. We'd love to hear everything. And like, subscribe for more UFC content. But the rest of the month, I got content about like Spider-Man Brand New Day. So make sure to check out those videos if you're interested in anything like about TV, Marvel, movies, and all that. But yeah, I'll definitely make content about the upcoming fights. Maybe I'll make one for Dricus versus Kamaru. I'll definitely make one about Ian Gary versus Hamza, or not Hamza, Islam Makhachev. So stay tuned for all the content. I really appreciate it, guys, and God bless you all.